Hey everyone, welcome to Healthy Habits on Tuesday night. We're so glad you're here. Tonight is one of my favorite classes, and it's Essential Oils 101. It's back to the basics. It's the foundation of what we do, why we do. If you're new, you're going to love this. Will set you up to use your essential oils with success and without fear. And if you're an oldie like me or like Amy, this is just a great refresher. So I love this class. It's one of my faves. And Amy and I are sharing the load tonight and taking turns. So, Amy Castles, hold
Hey
on.
everyone, welcome. I'm still admitting some people into
You're
the
good.
waiting
Okay, you're
room.
good.
Oh, waiting room, admit all. There we go. All right. We're excited to have you here, and we love teaching this class because um, even to this day, I've been using oils for a long time, and I still learn something new. I will probably learn something new from Terry. There's so much to learn. And every time you attend even something as simple as Essential Oils 101, you're probably going to learn something new. So we're glad to have you here, and I'm glad to be here.
Yep. So Young Living is set apart. It is different. And that is what you are going to see tonight. When I started using essential oils 18 years ago, as far as I know, there was only Young Living, and I'm very thankful for that because I didn't have to wonder and I did not stumble across another brand that could have hurt me or maybe wouldn't have worked because it was diluted. There was just Young Living. And so my first experience with essential oils was easy and powerful and actually life-changing for our family. So Young Living, the mission statement is we honor our stewardship to champion nature's living energy, essential oils by fostering a community of healing and discovery while inspiring individuals to wellness, abundance, and purpose. And I have to say, I know the Youngs personally. I've spent time with them. I've seen them year after year at the conventions, and my kids have become good friends with their boys. And this family business stands true to their mission. They are all about wellness, abundance, and purpose with these oils. If you haven't experienced that yet, you will. Amy, sorry. Speak into more of the wellness, abundance, and purpose. Before Amy talks, I have to say, for my family, the wellness has come in the form of better gut health. Some of my family members have struggled with gluten intolerance, gluten sensitivity, digestive issues, a lot of pain in their guts. And we have found just so much help with the oils and with Ningxia. My husband has found so much help with his adrenal glands with the oils. I have used these on my family daily for just normal life, but when we are in a crisis, it's the oils, I mean, it's prayer and the oils, that I go to slather my family with. And as far as purpose goes, man, I have loved teaching and educating on these oils. It has given me so much purpose, and I've helped other women step into this purpose also. It's like reaching out your hand and grabbing another woman's hand and saying, let me help you. Let me show you how to bring your family into wellness. This is how to do it. There's so much purpose in that. And then abundance, wow, I have so many friendships that have become very rich from just being a part of this company. I feel abundantly wealthy in friendship, first of all, but of course, there has been blessing in other ways too.
So I would love to add on to that. Before I became involved with Young Living, I was teaching fitness classes in the gym, and it was, I mean, I'll never forget those days, and they had their benefits. But I was starting to wear down my body quite a bit because you can only exercise so much in a day. And when I was teaching all those classes, I was starting to get sick a lot, just because I was breaking down my body so much. And whenever I had started Young Living in 2010, but in 2014 is whenever I decided that I was going to embrace more of the business side and learn more than what I knew before, which was basically, okay, how to use thieves, lavender, peppermint, and I think it was Raven. Like that's all I knew how to use. So when I was able to shift my life into learning more about wellness, not just in the form of exercise and nutrition, a deeper wellness on a cellular level, mind, body, soul, spirit, all of that. My life really took a big shift, and emotionally, mentally, spiritually, everything, my life took a shift. And it gave me a sense of purpose that I didn't know that I needed. I thought, my life was all about fitness and nutrition, exercise, and eating healthy. And that was it. But there was so much more to it. And once I started to learn, then I had this newfound purpose that I wanted to share this with the world. And I'll never forget my first check that I made with Young Living. It was a pretty good check actually. And I was able to go buy the kids new bikes. And I hadn't done that because see, when I taught fitness classes, I only made about $25 a class. Well, I mean, think about 1 hour is $25. Well, how many hours a week can you work, right? So I was maxed out. I maybe made like $250 a week teaching fitness classes. And that was it. But then I started getting these checks and I was able to buy the kids' school clothes and bikes and just some of those extras. And it was pretty amazing. And so that the whole concept of wellness, purpose, abundance, Young Living sets the stage to be able to provide all of those things.
Yep. Okay, so that's Gary Young in the fields. If you haven't seen him, you can just look at this timeline. We're not going to read it to you, but Gary Young was introduced to oils in 1985, and then his journey of learning about them and then bringing them to the United States in his boot, smuggling the seeds in his boot, and the lavender seeds from France is a pretty interesting story, and it's in his biography. And I do recommend learning about it because there is so much history in it, and we ultimately ended up blessing France and their lavender farms, returning the blessing like 20 years later, which is cool.
You can see this map here and look at it and say, wow, that's a lot of farms. Yes, there's a lot of farms. Every place in the world has a different soil climate, and different plants grow really good in other places and not so well in others. So Gary Young spent many, many years, and they still are to this day, going around the world and looking for farms that either they can, or land that they can either buy, or a farm that they can have as a collaborative farm where they can certify it to be a seed to seal farm. So for example, in the Philippines, there's the pili tree, and this makes, well, I can't remember what the oil is called. Is it called pili oil? I can't remember. But this is a really small, tiny family-owned farm, and they just, did everything by hand. It was really small. There was no chemicals or anything used. So basically, they came in and gave them the whole seed to seal standard, which they were already there. And then they built a distillery on site. They partnered with them to be exclusive with Young Living. And now they are what's considered a collaborative farm. So they have to go by Young Living standards in order to be a collaborative farm. And they've been doing this all around the world. And now we have this, huge supply of essential oils from all over the world that provide amazing things. It's not like these oils are just produced in a lab. They are the actual real plant from the real regions around the world.
And you can visit them. You can go on Young Living's website and sign up to visit a farm and even plant seeds and help weed. They invite their customers into the process. I recommend it. I've been to the farm in Hawaii, in Idaho, in Utah. My kids have been to the one in Ecuador, stayed there for a month. These farms are run by families and by locals. It's just a beautiful experience, and I recommend it. Put it on your bucket list. Okay, we are a wellness company, meaning we don't just have essential oils, we have products to support wellness in every part of our life, from shampoo to body lotion to toothpaste, but all of our products have essential oils infused into them. And I love that about Young Living because I can make a monthly order and put so many things that my family needs in that one order and get a lot of benefits from placing that convenient one order with our shampoo, mouthwash, toothpaste, household cleaner, essential oils, and all that. So we are a wellness company. Do you have anything to add to that, Amy? No.
No, sorry, you're good. You can just go on and then I'll give a small pause and I'll beep in if
Okay, let's be boom. Okay. Let's see what's next here. Let's see. The Young Living lifestyle. So in humans, I'm going to read something for a minute. Many provide support. Essential oils provide support for every system of the body, the skeletal system, muscular system, circulatory, endocrine, and hormones, respiratory, immune. They support brain health, healthy weight. They are used extensively for spiritual support in your prayer life. That's cool. And they have been used for thousands of years as beauty aids and for emotional support. An oil in a diffuser can soothe a child's tough day at school and provide a calming effect when you've had a stressful day at work. This is true, and this is the Young Living lifestyle. Today was rainy, and my husband has been struggling with his adrenal glands, and I know how he is. You know, when his adrenals are struggling. And I asked him, did the girls diffuse oils at your dental practice today? And he was like, they diffuse oils every single day. I said, okay, great. I just wanted to make sure that you are well supported at work because of all the days, this rainy day, when your adrenals are a little low, you needed extra. And that's the Young Living lifestyle. Oils can be used as an alternative to cleaning chemicals in the home. You can literally start swapping out every single chemical in your home to live a pure lifestyle, and you can do it without breaking the bank. And the cool thing is you do not have to be an aromatherapist to use the oils, and that's what we want you to take away tonight. In most cases, you just rub them on, you just smell them. It's easy. You do not have to know what you're doing. You do not have to be an expert in oils. You don't have to know if it's the right oil before you drop it in the diffuser. You don't have to know if it's the right oil before you put it on your body. Just use your oils and you will have a reaction of some type. Okay. What is an essential oil? Amy, you want to do this one?
so an essential oil is a volatile substance that's derived from plants. You can see that right on the slide. So if you have your plant, then there is a liquid that runs through the plant, through all of the cells of the plant. And that liquid provides the nutrients to all the different areas of that particular plant. And it's also a communicator too, because plants like speak to each other. It's really weird. There's a whole study on that. Like, I know I'm not trying to sound like totally kooky. I'm not, but they have a thing. Like some plants, if they believe that there's a predator, for example, they will release their essential oil or their aroma to notify the other plants next to it, which is pretty wild when you think about it.
So, the holly bush that it's like a tree, it's a holly tree, and they have really pointy, prickly leaves with red berries. Well, this is so interesting, and I learned this on my last camping trip with my daughters. Those they grow tall, they grow different sizes. So you may think of it as a bush, you may think of it as a tree. They are actually not prickly unless traffic walks by them. So you can know, like one side of the tree might have really prickly leaves and the other might not. It might have just regular leaves without prickle. You might think, what's wrong with this bush? This is weird. It's growing different leaves. No, it's not. what Amy's saying is God made plants smart, and that is their defensive mechanism. If they're getting a lot of traffic, that particular tree gets points that poke you on their leaves. So just to
And I
kind of,
wanted to say, our blood tells a story. You can go have your blood tested and it's going to tell a story. There's going to be a whole profile and it's going to tell exactly what's going on in your body. And that's because of all the things that our blood is made up of. Well, an essential oil is also made up of many, many different components. And those components do something very unique and special for each particular oil. So you're going to find out later on a little bit what that is, but just know that essential oils, they're very potent, they're strong. It's not like dried herbs. If I had 1 drop of peppermint, then that's equivalent to 26 cups of peppermint tea. So if you could think about, okay, what does a tea bag look like? How much peppermint leaves are in that tea bag? How, if I were to open up 26 of them and put them in my palm, it would be full of peppermint leaves. Well, 1 drop is equivalent to those 26 tea bags. So essential oils are very potent. They're volatile and they're very versatile. So they do a lot of different things. So you're going to hear someone say, oh, I use lavender for this. And then someone else says, well, I use lavender for this. And you're like, wait, I thought you used lavender for that. It's because they're very versatile and they do lots of different things. And when I said they're volatile, meaning that they are very aromatic. I can just open my bottle of lavender and set it down, and I could probably get the fumes from it. And that's because those volatile chemical components are expanding into the air, and then they're getting into my body.
beautiful. Okay, the history of oils. Some of the oldest cultures on the earth have used essential oils. The Babylonians placed orders for cedarwood, myrrh, and cypress. The Egyptians used essential oils for beauty and embalming, and they have the oldest recorded deodorant recipe made with essential oils. Pakistan and Rome used essential oils in the communal bathhouses. They were even, of course, used by Jesus. He was given frankincense and myrrh, and frankincense is sometimes referred to as the coconut oil of essential oils because it has over 10,000 uses. Thus, the saying, when in doubt, pull Frank out.
Mm.
Essential oils were used by medieval Europeans, many of whom brought oils back during the Crusades. It was only after World War II when essential oils were rediscovered and the science on their uses grow with every single year. So it's not a fad, it's not new. They have biblical roots. They've been mentioned in the Bible like 1,100 times. It's amazing. Okay, how do you use essential oils? There are 3 ways to use essential oils, and Amy just mentioned this one aromatically. You can see my diffuser behind me. This is a really powerful way to use essential oils. You may think, well, you know, that's not really going to help me a lot. It actually is. In the East, like over in China, they use more aromatic practices than the West typically does. It has grown since essential oils have been, quote, rediscovered, but it actually helps our body and brings our bodies into balance for us to smell these plant compounds because, like she said, 1 drop is from hundreds of pounds of plant. So when we're smelling them, our body is receiving some of those chemical compounds. You can put them on your hands and smell them like this, use them in a diffuser, put them on your hair, but just know that when you're smelling them aromatically, you are supporting your body.
And I just wanted to add that essential oils aren't anything new. She just went over that and saying that they are a part of historical texts. Um, it's not that they're new. It's just, and you may think, okay, they're a fad. I'm hearing about them now. It's not that. It's they kind of lost their luster for a while, and then companies came forward and started making essential oils in a chemical form, like synthetically. And so people just kind of got away from it, really. And it's kind of a United States thing. I mean, in Europe, they've really used a lot of oils. And they've never stopped, especially France too. But over here, it was more like, okay, Bath and Body Works and Victoria's Secret and perfumes. Well, because we have the internet, people have figured out pretty quick that, hey, these chemicals are toxic. And the oil or the whatever we're applying to our skin is entering into our bloodstream and it's throwing our hormones off and doing all sorts of things. So in the search of learning and stepping outside of the norm of going to Victoria's Secret for your 15th birthday for smelly lotions, people are saying, hey, I want to learn how to do things a little bit more naturally. And we have Facebook that came out in 2012, and things just started exploding when we were able to form online communities and share information. So, anyway, that is just a little bit about how they've never gone away. They've just kind of like were quiet for a little bit. And now, over the past 10 years, they've really come back.
Okay. So topically, you can rub them on your feet. It's a good practice to put them on the bottom of your feet, especially if you are ill, because the bottom of your feet has the biggest pores of anywhere on your body. And plus, all of the organs' receptor sites are at the bottom of your feet. You can see the chart. What is the chart? The Vitaflex point chart in the essential oils desk reference, and it shows you which organ is where on the bottom of the foot. But I say, you know what? You don't necessarily need to know that. Just slap the whole foot with oil, cover the whole foot, and that will work. Um, Internally, I probably drink about 100 drops of essential oils every single day. My husband takes um, oils in capsules a few times a day, and I'm talking like 30 drops of at least. So don't be afraid of taking your essential oils internally. They help clean the cell receptor sites. They help digestion. They clean the sticky stuff in the blood. How do you take them, Amy?
So mostly I would say that I will do capsules or in my water. I mean, that's really the only two ways that you
Okay.
can
Yeah,
get them in.
absolutely. I have two track runners right now. One is 13 and one is 18, and they both asked for peppermint in their water bottles at the first track practice. And I was so glad that they remembered that peppermint in the water gives longevity and endurance. There have been studies done with essential oils and exercise, and when an athlete will drink peppermint in their water when they're performing, they have more endurance than those who don't drink peppermint. So my kids remembered that taking their oils internally can give them an edge.
This
So
is one of the first ones that I really started using in my water. It's been out for a really long time. It's called Sleek Essence, and it's a combination of Ocotea and spearmint, and there's actually stevia in it, so it kind of has like a little bit of a sweet flavor. But I think there's tangerine in it too. It's very cleansing and it's very refreshing. So I'm a water snob and I like my water to hydrate from the second I start drinking it. I don't want to, drink a crappy bottle of water and then just feel heavy on my stomach. So this, I feel like it adds to the high quality water that we're already drinking.
it does. I agree. So Young Living is the world leader in essential oils for a reason. Every other company that is making essential oils is looking to Young Living's library for how to do it because of it's Young Living that has the 30 years of research. It's Young Living that has the essential oils library. Um, it's phenomenal. And we have studies that you can find on the website, and you can purchase the essential oils desk reference from Seeds of Time, and I recommend it. The Seed to Seal sets us apart. Do you want to do this one?
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Um, oh, so yes, the Sea to Seal sets us apart from any other company. They have this standard of process. It's their quality control. And this quality control is very vigorous and it is very detailed. So basically what they're saying is from the seed of the plant to the time that they seal it in the bottle, it's all done by Young Living. So I always like to give this analogy of going to a juice store. If you walked into a juice store and they were serving all this beautiful fresh juice and you were like, oh my gosh, it actually smells like juice in here, it's a wonderful, and you said, where do you get all your vegetables, by the way, and all of your fruit? And they said, oh, we've got orchards in the back, and then we've got some up in Huntsville and some in Madisonville. You'd be like, are you serious right now? And they said, oh yes, we grow everything. You would be absolutely impressed. And then you had another company that says, oh yeah, we're V8 juice. I mean, it's there, you would know there is absolutely no comparison. And that's the best way that I can describe Young Living compared to some others. It's V8 juice versus fresh juiced as if they were to have a farm in the back. You're going to see that where it says testing. So first they start with the seed, they put it in the earth, they cultivate it, they do all this very, very carefully, a certain timing, then they're going to distill it in a certain way. So every essential oil is different. So LME, this may be distilled completely different than the way lavender does. So it's not just how it's grown, it's also how are they being distilled? Because like LME has all these amazing, wonderful qualities, but if it's distilled incorrectly at its pressure, its time, and its temperature, and those three things are always going to be a factor in how the chemical components come out. Just like I talked about how the oil is like the blood of a plant, like the blood of our body. If they were to take our blood out and then, just let it sit there, it's going to be dead. It's not going to contain the nutrients that it needs. So with the essential oil, they have to treat it properly and it has to be distilled properly. They test it. They test it like immediately from the time that they harvest it and distill it. And then they're going to send it off to do third-party testing. And then they'll send it back and then they test it again. Now, testing is a subject that it can go very broad, but testing means that they're going to look at these under the microscope and do all their whatever their testing equipment is, and they're going to look at its blueprint. Now, some testing equipment that that companies have may just be, a mediocre test. It's like getting an MRI versus an ultrasound for a breast scan. I mean, a breast ultrasound for a breast scan is black and white, it's basic, but if you needed to get like the full meal deal because you might get diagnosed with something, then the doctor's going to make you get an MRI because it's the most intense. So their testing equipment is absolutely state of the art. It is so sensitive. It can find any impurities whatsoever, and it can test for the tiniest of nutrients within these essential oils. So once all those are good, then they seal it in the bottle. And what I love too is that when they distill it, so going back to that distill test, when they distill it, they pour out all the oil, they have all the oil. Well, now they're going to have all this plant material and water. They take that and they compost it and then they put it back on the soil. So it's just this constant cycle that feeds itself. So these plants are extremely healthy.
They reuse every part of it. And then at the end, there are two different labels that are put on the bottles. You'll see Vitality and you'll see a regular solid label. Those are the exact same oils from the exact same farm, the exact same batch. But if an oil is recommended for cooking or dietary use, it gets a Vitality wrapper, which is white. Now, you don't pay sales tax on a Vitality wrapper. So if you're just trying to decide, well, which one should I buy? And you only need a 5 ml, go with the Vitality because you won't pay tax on it. But if you have a solid wrapper at home and you need to take it internally, so this is clove, maybe I want to use it for a toothache. Maybe I want to take it for whatever reason. Well, it's this clove also comes in Vitality, so I know, and common sense also tells me clove is a dietary plant. right? So just use your common sense when you're choosing your internal oils. Okay, and when you go to convention, not if you go to convention, you can see the distilleries, you can visit the lab, you can talk to the scientists, and I highly recommend that experience. Okay, we've already talked about the farms, the promise. We believe that you and your family deserve products that are genuine, free of synthetic chemicals, and of unmatched purity. Seed to Seal is both a promise to you and a reflection of our sense of global stewardship. Okay, the premium starter kit. Young Living has a bunch of different bundles and starter kits, and the premium starter kit is a bundle that is wonderful for people who are just getting started with essential oils because it has 10 essential oils that you would use. I mean, you could use for 10,000 different reasons. It's like, where do I start? I don't know. Let's grab an oil from the starter kit. It's going to set the new person up for a great start. It comes with samples and a diffuser. We're going to break down the oils in this kit very quickly. Um, so I'll do this one first. Lavender, it is for bug bites, bobos, bedtime. I mean, it is, think of it like Benadryl in a bottle. It smells very relaxing. It can lower blood pressure. It's one of the most popular and sought after scents in the world, and it's also one of the most duplicated synthetically. So when you're buying, quote, lavender essential oil out on the market, chances are you are getting a fake synthetic lavender because it is easy to make in the lab to match real lavender. One of the tests that they do at convention, and I take part in this every year, they have a long table and they have authentic essential oils and they have lab made essential oils. And you walk up to the counter and you say, okay, let me try to pass the test. And you put a blindfold on and you smell one and then you smell the other and you have to guess which one is right. And it's hard to tell with lavender. I will have to say, lavender is one. So you want to know your source. Only buy lavender from Young Living because of that fact. But it's fantastic for unwinding, for eliminating odors.
Okay, peppermint. This one has been my rock for so many years. Just with having migraines, I was able to always put it across my forehead and it would just give me a little bit of relief, just to get through some moments of the day. But it is an absolutely amazing oil for digestion. Like Terry said, she puts it in the boys' water for track, but they probably do it themselves. But that was actually my very, very first experiment with or experience with an oil internally, was peppermint. They put it in my water. And funny story, and I did that at the class. She put it in my water and it was so amazing. It made my water bottle taste like peppermint for days, even though the peppermint was gone. Well, I wanted oils so bad, but I couldn't afford them. So I actually went down to Whole Foods and bought some peppermint when Whole Foods was in Houston, and I put it in my water and I about threw up, even though I bought organic peppermint. It wasn't, it was like some sort of perfume. But so real peppermint tastes amazing in your water. It also is very cooling, so it will lower a fever. I know that's not FDA compliant to say, but there are more times than I can count where I put this on my baby's feet or on belly button when they were little, and it would just lower their temperature like that. Peppermint is also very cooling just on a hot day. I mean, you could put peppermint in a spray bottle and spray it, just on your neck. I've given out bottles of peppermint and water. That's it, just at sporting events. Here you go, here you go, here you go. Spray it on, and people are like, "This is amazing." Yeah, it is. Your first air conditioner is your skin. So
It's amazing. Yeah, I agree. I use it for cooling all the time. Lemon is, it takes 60, the rinds of 60 lemons to make a 15 ml bottle. So once again, it takes a lot of lemon, and this is made from the actual rind and it's cold pressed. This cleans off sticky, like sticky stickers. And think about that. If it's cleaning off sticky stickers and it will eat off your nail polish, think about what it's doing when you drink it, how great that is for your blood, how it just goes in and cleans the receptor sites of the cells. And it's so refreshing. It's something that should be a part of all of our drink habits.
Okay, frankincense, another one of my favorites. Frankincense, these trees are from more of the Middle East area. And I mean, frankincense, they always say, um, well, if it was good enough for Jesus, it was good enough for me. So frankincense is an oil it's probably one of the most talked about oils in the Bible. And it is definitely earthy and it has, like, it says a balsamic scent. I'm not really sure what that means, but it is a very earthy scent. It's very clean. It's really good for your skin. It's good for your muscles. It's good for everything. There's been more times that I can count that I had frankincense only, and I knew it was healthy for every cell in my body. I could just feel, my body, okay, I'm feeling run down, I'm feeling tired, whatever. And then I just take the frankincense and just drop it under my tongue like every 15 minutes, and it just kind of reset my body. Gary Young used to take frankincense in capsules. Actually, he probably drank a whole bottle a day. I think that's what I heard. I say he was drinking a whole bottle, but really good in your skincare. It is always a part of any skin oil that I use. I always make sure that I have frankincense in it. And if you go to pubmed.gov, it's a government website that has published articles from medical journals and published studies from medical journals. That's what I meant to say. And if you look up what frankincense does in that, you're going to be shocked. It is absolutely incredible how frankincense helps a cell remember its DNA. Like, think about
It's
that.
so cool. Only God could do that. Okay, Thieves. Young Living is famous for the Thieves line. This is Young Living's signature line. The legend goes, the reason it got its name is this. There were some grave robbers, and this was back during the time of the Black Plague, and they were robbing the graves of the dead and the dying, and they were not getting the Black Plague, and they were not dying. They just continued to rob the graves of the dead and dying. And when the king caught wind of this, he caught the thieves and said, I will give you a ransom for your life if you will tell me exactly how you're climbing all over these dead bodies and not getting the Black Plague. Well, they were essential oil perfumers, and they had taken rags and rolled the rags in these 5 different herbs and oils that are in the blend Thieves, and they covered their nose, their mouth, and their hands. So they were protected, thus the name Thieves. Thieves is so powerful and so effective and so versatile that Young Living has created the essential oil, toothpaste, mouthwash, household cleaner, bar soap. Like, there are a lot of products with the Thieves essential oil blend in it. I know that it eats mold for one thing. It's something that if you live in a humid climate, you should definitely diffuse in your house at least a few times a week so that you don't get mold. It's great to take internally. It's a wonderful wellness supplement to take in a capsule or to rub on the bottom of your feet. If you have children, rub it on the bottom of their feet and put socks on them before they go off to school. It's just a fantastic oil. It's one of my favorite blends.
Okay, purification. This is my favorite for all blemishes. For some reason, I will just have some pop up on my chin, and it's super annoying because I've never dealt with that in my life before. But it's a hormonal thing, I guess. So purification does exactly what it says. It purifies. So I'll take purification and just like a little dabble do ya, put it on a blemish. But it's amazing for diffusing in your diffuser. You put purification in your diffuser, and it actually neutralizes a lot of odors in your house. So that being said, it's good for your laundry. It's good for putting on cotton balls, putting inside your shoe. It's purifying. So what else would that mean? Okay, you got an ingrown toenail or something like that. Or a cut or something, you can just put purification on it and it cleans. So there's citronella in it. So of course we always use citronella in the summertime here in Texas, especially outside. purification is not really one that you would take internally. There wouldn't be any reason for it. So that I would see. It stink. I mean, it's not, it doesn't stink. It smells good, but it doesn't taste good. That's what I meant to say.
Right. It's medicinal. Okay, Panaway. When I teach in-person classes, if someone walks in the door and I say, I greet everyone. I say, okay, what's your issue? What's your issue? What hurts? Tell me what hurts. And I'll put Panaway on whatever hurts. And a lot of times people will have tennis elbow or a rickety knee or something. And every time, this one woman, this was the first time I did it, and I remember her response. She had not been able to move her elbow without pain in a very long time. And she sat there listening while the Panaway was soaking into her elbow. And she said, where can I buy this? I need this right now. My elbow doesn't hurt for the first time in months. And Panaway is a powerful blend with wintergreen and helichrysum. It's an expensive blend. And inside this kit, because it comes in this kit, it's basically free. Okay. So when you buy the kit, like it's half the cost of the kit if you were to buy it separately. So Panaway is pain, think of it as pain away and put it on anything that hurts.
Okay, Copaiba. So this particular oil doesn't really have a smell. It does, but it's so mild. It's not really one that you would diffuse. Like, I don't know why anybody would want to diffuse it. It kind of doesn't really smell, but it is an oil that we use as a driver. So for example, if I wanted to put on, say, peppermint, and then, well, peppermint's a driver oil too. But let's say I wanted to put on frankincense on an area of my body that I felt like those cells are really needing some help, right? And I put peppermint on that area. I could put Copaiba over the top of it, and it drives it into the cells. It's also considered to be something that really reduces inflammation. It is an oil that has this very important component called beta-carotene and alpha-humulene. So what you would do is you would look at those ingredients, or excuse me, those chemical components that are in the Copaiba plant, beta-carotene and alpha-humulene, and you could go to pubmed.gov and go see what studies have been done on those particular constituents. And see what companies do, pharmaceutical companies, they will see that nutrient and then they recreate just that alone nutrient in the lab. And then they call it a pharmaceutical drug. This is how they get nutrient, or this is how they get medicine. They're using plants and they're finding out what is important. So Copaiba is one of those. We take it internally. We take it topically, not really diffuse it. So
It's a painkiller. Think of it as a painkiller. For a topical painkiller. Digize is a lifesaver for a lot of people. We love this oil and we use it all the time. You can drop it in your belly button. If you have diarrhea, it will help reset your gut and stop diarrhea. If you're constipated, drop it in your belly button and it will help move that along. You can take it in capsules, but I typically like to put it inside the belly button. I do have a friend that diffused it in her young son's bedroom overnight while he slept, and he pooped for the first time in a long time. So it actually works in the diffuser also. It has a weird smell. It's not one of our favorite smells, but once you experience the magic of it resetting your gut and it working, you love the oil.
yeah, when
So
you hear digize, think digestion, all things gut, all
yeah,
things gut related, from your throat down to the other end. If it needs help in some way, digize to the rescue. Okay,
absolutely.
RC, this was stands for respiratory congestion. RC is a staple in this house. My daughter, anytime she ever had come down with something, it was always straight to the chest. So RC is what we needed, cleared things up. Great for people who get really constricted in their breathing. And put it on the bottoms of the feet, put it on the chest, put it on the back, put it in the diffuser. Amazing for this. And it really does. And your boys, when they're running track, they're putting peppermint in their water. They could put RC on their chest, and it also helps open up those airways to breathe.
It's a great idea. I'll do that. Okay, Young Living has a lot of products, like I said earlier, and they're all essential oil infused. So buying the body products and the supplements is another way for you to get these powerful essential oils in your body. And you can look at the bottles and see some of the oils that are in them and even learn from looking at the supplements and the lotions. Oh, this is awesome. These are other ways I can use my little bottles. So look at everything on the Young Living website and take advantage of that. Let's see. Love it, share it, repeat it. We highly recommend you bringing your friends to these Tuesday night classes. We have these every Tuesday night, different topic each week. We also have a once a month in-person class locally in the Woodlands. But if you love oils, whether you're new or whether you're seasoned, you can have people over to your house, open up your oils and share them. Share your oils, get them on your friends, let them smell them, and you're giving your friend a gift. I'm so thankful that my friend brought an oil over to my house 18 years ago and shared a Thieves bottle with me because it has literally changed the trajectory of my family's health and life. So be a friend and share it. Thank y'all for coming. We appreciate it. And next week is Women's Wellness with Tammy. Is that correct, Amy?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay.
We are ever so growing and learning, and I learned new things today too. But one of the best ways to learn is to have an essential oils reference right here. And if you just sat up at night and had this as your reading, just go through it and look at all the different ways to use essential oils. Look, there's I mean, like, here's just a whole thing written about coriander and the medical properties, the uses, the fragrant influence, how to use, and then medical journals, references. So there's tons of different stuff in here. It is so full. This is it's your essential oils Bible, really.
I
Techniques.
do that too. I
Techniques.
tab mine and I read that. I
Oh
read
yeah.
it. I literally just learned last week that coriander is good for blood sugar. So I'll read it with my highlighter and my tabs. I read things to my family. I'm like, you've got to hear this. So that's how we learn. We don't just magically know things, but we open up the desk reference and read for fun. Well, have a good night. We'll see y'all next week.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. You're
Bye.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye.